And we should be able to start as soon as we get that link up.
So, and what it's doing there is recording. It's recording? Because if we are offline, why? Oh my goodness. Okay, it looks like it's starting. See that? What is it saying? It's starting. So now you are live. So this is it. Let us see if it comes on there. If I come on there. Okay, I think if you go. What did he say there?
Yeah, mic check, mic check. Do you hear me?
It is. Okay,
you see, something is wrong.
I'm not seeing any video on my phone.
We are hearing a cricket voice. Oh, I don't know if our mics are even turned on at this point. Maybe yes, maybe not.
No, the mic is on.
Okay, the mic is on.
Okay. Let me try to get. We paused it and the thing has just put us off now from video. Okay, that you should sign him in. Where Elvis commentaries. The head of state, the Paul Biya head of gold has declared a national day of mourning for the 17 soldiers.
Go to my Facebook page and see what is happening with that. With this. Yes, let me get some water before I collapse it. That setup is good, eh? You only have to adjust the camera here. Can you see? Oh, no, okay. Yes. It's good now. Oh no, I don't know what you did again.
So we are ready?
Look, there is something.
Looks like we're live.
Yeah, you are live.
Good. That's a good piece of news. We need.
Yes, you are live.
You still have the problem.
Put it on for me. No, let me put it on charge. Put it on charge now. Okay. Okay. So you now have to put the telephone number to down there, so no one wants to talk to us and talk to us.
Should we double up?
Yes,
Should we double up on the mic or something?
No, I think that we are just okay.
Okay, cool.
I'm trying to get them to actually hear you right now.
Okay.
Yes, I guess that.
So
I'll have to bring in my phone. I guess we are live. Yes, Ntumfo Bohabet, good evening.
Good evening, John.
Yeah, it's been a while that we've had this opportunity to be together in the studio, and I'm sure that Southern Cameroonians or the people of Ambazonia should be wondering that what really happened today, that Comrade John Akuroh is rather coming live, because they're used to seeing my recorded productions are not live. So let me welcome you on board my YouTube channel today.
Thank you, bro. Thank you very much. Greetings to our people at home. We are not started yet, but we know that a number of you are already there, already watching. So thank you for joining. Please share the link with other comrades. Let them join. we've got a few messages to share with you, and every time we get a chance, this is about self-motivating, inspiring, getting everyone to relieve the old religion, to know that our revolution is alive, and know that we have a duty to bring it home and take every one of us to Boya.
Great. Today we are going to discuss two very important issues, although we may extend because we are going to display a telephone number there, and if you get touched by anything or you want to ask us a question, you can put your question through. You can actually call that number if you're in the United States, even out of the United States. If you can manage it, you just put +1 before that number. You'll be able to reach us. Today we are going to be talking about an important event that, in collaboration with all other movements in the struggle, we will be carrying out worldwide. That is on the 19th of July. It's a very important worldwide demonstration, and by the time we are done with this broadcast, the global organizing committee will be put in place. Those who have been contacted to be in the organizing committee from across the world will find themselves in a group to prepare this very important event, the worldwide demo for U.S. embassies on the 19th of July, and in the United States it will be at the Capitol. Am I right?
We will be up at the Capitol. Very important event. But before we get too much into it, we know that you're still sharing the link. You're still getting people to connect. Just to let you know, we've got a colleague connected out of Canada. Mark Chaps is on the line. Mark, welcome.
Hey, at the console, can you let us see Mark? Hello, Mark.
Just 1 second.
I'm not even hearing him.
Okay.
Now, this is what technology is doing to us. When they know how to handle it, you can see what they're doing here. It's an amazing thing. There's a connection here to Facebook. There's a connection here to YouTube, and there's a connection here to Zoom, and I don't know what else. But everything is connected. The only thing now is for us to make sure that we got.
I think it's important.
Here comes Mark.
Yeah, Mark is here. I think Mark should be beamed on the screen from the console. So
there you go.
Here you have Mark. Mark, you are live, and the people of the Southern Cameroons, can see you, Mark. Yeah, Mark, how is Canada today?
I don't think you can hear.
I have the feeling that Mark is here to actually hear us, but
while they sort out the problem, let's see if Comrade Akwanga is connected, whether his audio and video work. Comrade Akwanga, could you come in, please?
Well, while we get the issue sorted out with Comrade Mark, I think you will also be able to see Comrade Akwanga right there. Yeah, Comrade Akwanga, the guy is in red today.
That's APLM for you.
Yeah.
Like he says, here comes Ndutu.
Here comes Ndutu. There is this gentleman, I often watch him in the
national team. He's speaking and we are not hearing him either, I think.
Comrade Akwanga, can you hear us?
We cannot hear him.
Yeah, this technical problem is being sorted out, and
but hopefully they're hearing him online.
We cannot hear him online either.
I don't know if they can hear him online. Well, you can check it on your phone to see if they're hearing him online. But we are not very much yet in the subject matter of our discussion. We are still giving you the time, the opportunity to share this link with others, so they should be part of this very important broadcast. So I guess as soon as all the technical conditions are set, we will take off, and I think that at that time you would have been able to bring in other people to be part of this very important broadcast. Yeah.
There he is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we can hear you now. We just heard you a moment ago.
Comrade Bo, you're also logged in on your iPhone while at the same time.
Was this on Zoom or on YouTube?
That's Zoom.
Yeah, okay. That's interesting. Keep sharing, keep
But,
sharing, keep
but
sharing.
we could hear Kwanga a moment ago. Could he come again?
No, Akwanka, you're hearing him there in the console. You don't have YouTube in your phone? What's YouTube on your phone? You don't have YouTube on your phone? Can I have my phone?
And I don't know if he has his phone there, but what needed to happen? Everybody to sign out of his phone, his iPhone.
Yeah, sign out of your iPhone.
Say it again.
He wants me to sign up.
Yeah, sign out.
Okay. Yeah, I can see we have a number of our compatriots already online. I can see Evelyn Tifu, you're welcome. Thank you very much. I can see Akumwefon. Oh, Akumwefon, I'm very proud to have you on here. Tamasang A, congratulations for being with us here. I can see people from Ground Zero, and we are delighted that you actually stayed up to be part of this important broadcast. So we're just giving a little, a few minutes again for this little technical hitches to be, sorted out. So in terms of while they come on, I just saw a press release from signed by the President of La République du Cameroun. Not actually a press release, a confidential letter.
That's foreign news.
Yes, I know it's foreign news. A confidential letter that just leaked out that they are extending the mandate of their parliamentarians again with effect from the end of the month of October. I think with effect from the 27th or is it 29th of October for 2 more months, to enable them have a November session of parliament. And, obviously they are not telling anyone that they are trying to buy time to see if they can, continue to play the make-believe games that they are used to playing to, dribble and say that they are organizing elections. That's interesting, right?
Well, if we must comment about foreign news, yes, then let's do. But an illegal country does illegal.
Sometimes you can't help talking foreign news.
No, absolutely, especially when the people happen to be your neighbors, and you worry that dirt and illegality and corruption has a way of infecting people who are next to it. So we have to be very careful and watch these things and tell our people about them so that we can avoid them. But frankly, there's nothing legal about Cameroon, and so I don't know why they even bother to say they're extending the mandate. Everybody there extends the mandate. When was the last time anybody there checked out of any position? People are accumulating positions forever. People die in position. The only request God has not granted for them is for them to continue to be in position even after they're buried. That's the only thing that's not happened there. And
that's not an interesting one.
It's likely that they're going to find a way of inventing a way when Mr. Biya is going to continue to be president even after he dies.
Even after that. Well, I think I followed one lady of the bars, what they call the Brigade Anti-Sardina, say once that those people are capable of, even after he dies, to make sure they don't announce it, to, keep his carcass to continue ruling and all of those things. Anyway, but like you said a while ago, it's foreign news. But there's another piece of news that is interesting for us, though. He equally signed another decree that talking of the same Mr. Paul Biya or his proxy, because when we
You're talking about
signed, we should be talking about Ngongo. That
do we even know if it's Ngongo?
That the Ngongo president of La République, who signs in the name of Paul Biya, signed a decree declaring a national day of mourning for 17 soldiers who were killed in the far north by Boko Haram. Now, that's interesting, right? And these are people who continue to deceive some of our people, calling something they call vivre ensemble or whatsoever. We have had a lot of people, hundreds of people, thousands of people killed in southern Cameroon, burnt alive, and all of those things. We have seen corpses of our people displayed on the streets and all of those things. Have you ever heard Mr. Bia talk about National Day of Mourning?
No, I think
these things just go to confirm generally what we keep telling those who continue to, you know, have some kind of beliefs and all or not that there is something that they can get from there, that they can tap palm wine from tar, like Professor Tatamenta often says.
we are extremely fortunate that in this particular revolution, any kind of lies that Mr. Bia and his regime have tried to sell have been lies they could not tell. So if they prepared to tell a lie about, you know, a day of mourning for our people, their tongues just get tied. They can't say it, they can't write it. So it's the work of God preventing them from pretending. I mean, whether it was the teachers, when our teachers were on strike or our lawyers were on strike, the people of the other country showed very clearly that it was a different country. When our people were being killed, they showed very clearly that it was a different country, because it was just the teacher corps or the lawyer corps that was involved in the same country. If we were indeed one country, you would have that agitation across the board. You would have days of national mourning declared for both parts of the country. So it's great that Mr. Bia is showing very clearly that he has no competence to deal with anything with respect to Ambazonia. The rest of the world is what is letting all of us down. The rest of the world should have realized that that's what's happening, and they should have gone ahead and recognized Ambazonia ever since. That's what the world should have done.
Of course, what I want to say is, you know, some people still get deceived when you find this so-called elite. Permit me use that expression, so-called elite, and you know, the catchphrase for them generally is the genocide enablers, those who call themselves elite other than the CPDM parties or whatever. Even those of the opposition SDF who have decided that they wouldn't leave that you know, that foreign house like our forefathers did in 1950. Was it 1954?
1953.
1953, by leaving Enugu and coming back to Boya to set up the parliament. That is what made Southern Cameroons the country that we are reclaiming today. By that single act, they established us. That is why most people don't even hear a lot about British Northern Cameroons, because those of the British Northern Cameroon stayed in the Nigerian legislatures throughout. But those of the British Southern Cameroon said, we can't continue this, you know, colonization by proxy, and they left. So those people who today have a golden opportunity to remake history, but in a different way, that will, you know, change the lives and the future of generations upon generations of Southern Cameroonians to come, but who have refused because of I don't know how much. Because, you know, I had the opportunity to see the pay stubs of some of those parliamentarians. Go 700,000, 800,000. I think they raised it a bit to 800,000. Those who manage to get to the level of Kester or whatever can get 1.3 million. Those who say vice president, perhaps they have a cook, a driver, a bodyguard, and all of those things about 1.5 or 2 or 2 million monthly. You see, this is the change that makes them decide to auction the lives of generations of their people to come. And this of a reliance on, you know, on material things, instead of devoting yourself to tell the people that truly I represent you. I think of you. Truly, I bother about the future of the children that we are begetting, and even those who are still to be born. Tells of a kind of selfishness. But today, we are delighted that the people of Southern Cameroons across the board, especially those on ground zero, have said enough is enough. That we are tired of this and we have to go. So, when you sit in your community and then some fellow comes and you know, says, take this 20,000 or take this 50,000 or take this 200,000, go there, or perhaps you're an amber boy or so, betray your brothers and all, no, let us bring them down. We will fly you to Dubai. We will fly you to that. Let me warn you. That flying that they are saying, that fly, when they fly you and abandon you in a foreign country, your fate will be worse. We are fighting to come back home because we don't like it out here. So don't allow yourself to be deceived that they'll carry you and just dump you out there. You don't even know, they don't have control of anything concerning papers, legal papers for you to live out there. They don't have control over how well you live out there. They don't have control over, I mean, your day-to-day life out there. Be very careful. Yes, Tumfoin, you were saying
it looks like we're connected technically. Let's try. Let's see, Dr. Akwanga. We believe that we've had our technical problems resolved. Can Dr. Akwanga please come in? Let's just see if we've got you voice and video.
I can't hear you guys.
We still
you cannot hear?
Yeah, I can't hear them.
Okay. But can we at least hear his voice?
I don't know whether it's the microphone or the way it's connected.
Can you hear his voice?
No, I can hear him. What about Mac
I
Chaps?
can only hear Mark Church when he speaks from Canada. It's very, very audible. But I don't know what is going on. So there's a problem with the connection.
We are not hearing Dr. Akwanga.
Is Dr. Akwanga at least being heard online?
Let them be comfortable if the people are getting them. Because from my iPad, their voices are very clear. But I cannot.
Is he at least being heard online?
But on my phone, it's just.
Yeah, he's being heard online right here.
He's being heard online?
Yeah. Okay.
Just keep talking, please. I can't hear you guys.
Okay, that will make the conversation difficult. If he can hear us, perhaps because he reacted when we asked him to come in, and we cannot hear him, that will mean basically that
it will be a slightly difficult kind
conversation.
Of conversation. But we will continue. However, I know Comrade Akwanga
what about Mac Chaps?
is listening to us. I think Comrade Kometato should be online already. Comrade Kometato should have signed in. And so just bear with us as we put these things together. This is the first time we decided to come live on YouTube because we don't want to leave any medium untouched. Yeah, I think I can begin to hear now. So, Comrade Akwanga, can you come again?
Your voices are coming, but like I said.
Oh, come on! I can hear you now so well.
We can hear you now.
So, Comrade
I can
Akwanga.
hear you well. It's because of the external microphone. I'm not using any mic.
Yeah,
problem. So
yeah, Comrade.
just input microphone is not coming out. Only
No, Comrade Akwanga, it's your goggles that are stopping you from seeing that we're talking to you.
my goggle is disturbing you.
Mine right here are not disturbing him. Those of us with 4 eyes, they are jealous.
Well, don't now, Comrade Akwanga, you heard this piece of information that our colonial neighbors have decreed a day of national mourning for their soldiers and some of our misguided brothers who went and got killed in the far north. What is your comment about that?
It's from his side.
Looks like there's a call.
It looks like there's a call.
It is from his side though.
Huh?
Can you hear me?
It's from his end.
Okay, it's not from here. Okay. Okay, yeah, Comrade Akwanga.
From my side. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes, so what is your comment about those deaths, you know? About that, is it the day of national mourning? Yeah, the day of national mourning decreed for those soldiers who are dead up there. What does it inspire in you?
It is not much about whether it inspires me or gets me very angry. It is whether when these guys sit and they take crazy decisions like these, which makes no sense. Whether they look at the impact of the lives of their own people, not even us, because for us we are not even humans. We are not really human in their eyes. It is not just scandalous. It is shameful and it's hurtful. And these are men and women who will also carry the Bible or they are running around the Quran, or I don't even know which faith they worship. I don't know which of them. But I'm sure that their area of worship is the Hades, the deepest places in Dante's Inferno. Because if they are going to celebrate 17 people who were killed, we don't even know whether they were killed or they slaughtered them themselves. And then they said that they want to have a national day of mourning. How many times have they mourned the other people that they have slaughtered? How many times have they mourned the order of their own people who have been killed time and time again? These guys are running out of their evil nature. In fact, they are preaching everywhere. They are almost not knowing exactly what other evil act they have to carry out. So they are confused, they are perplexed, and they can't get any good advice from their father Lucifer. They are confused. So for me, I'm not much concerned about that. I am concerned about our people and our ability to take this struggle to a different level. Because as much has been gained, we might lose some of these gains.
We've not started. So get Akwanga to go. Let's try Mark Jeffs.
And believe that, some international community is just giving us backing and will just come and save us. No. We will be the ones to save ourselves. If anyone is going to help us, they might just be there to cheer us on. So we need to do what is necessary for us to get the help, or to get the hell these people out of our lives. Because these guys have never been to hell. And I'm telling you that they are worse than hell. They are worse than hell. If you are going to hell, even your soul will prepare itself for that period of inferno.
Chairman.
Yes, let him catch his breath.
Because you don't even know what is coming next.
Comrade Akwanga, you can catch your breath for a while
No, we just wanted to see Mark Jeffs. Just make sure that we have the connections right with Mark and with Kometa, then we can start. Hello, Mark. Could you come in, please?
Is he?
Yes, Mark Jeffs from Canada.
Just a mic test, video test.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
We can hear you 5 on 5.
5 on 5, man.
All right, I can't really hear you, so I don't know what question you asked, or if you were asking for my comment on something. I didn't really hear what the discussion was about.
But can you hear us now?
I can hear you faintly.
Okay, I think you need to improve the volume at your end of your receiver somehow. But all the same, you are welcome to this live broadcast. And we used to say that it's when we were doing this thing on CRTV at the time, they used to call it in French multiplex, but that's not the term we want to call it now. We want to say this is an interesting, broadcast of outreach where we have you on in Canada. We have Dr. Akwanga.
Yeah.
He's somewhere in
Clinton.
In Clinton. And we should be having
Kometa is from out of Silver Spring.
Yeah, Kometa from Silver Spring. And so we just felt like we should stay in various areas today as a SCLC and have this very important communication with our people.
What about Comrade Kometa? Could he connect, please? Let's see.
Can we get Comrade Kometa?
I don't see him.
Okay, he's not on. Okay, Comrade Kometa was supposed to connect. Comrade Sako was supposed to connect as well. Comrade Flora as well.
Yes.
But oh yeah.
Comrade Kometa, understand he's showing Pali with the cap, or are you saying Comrade Tumfoin?
No, this is not a cap.
Okay, now.
This is not visible.
Yeah, in a moment we should actually.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think in a moment we should actually get into the.
We should.
This will be done more better. There's just a problem with the whole connection.
But
Okay.
all the same, glad enough that we are able to get
That's
you.
true.
But this first trial, and you know that we are coming from various horizons just right now and putting this together. We must begin first of all by congratulating and thanking our host for this very wonderful initiative. If you were here, you see the kind of equipment deployed. You need to know that just that we're not time enough to test all of these things, but it's wonderful.
Yeah. So thank you very much for those of you online. Thank you for your patience while we were putting together all the technical stuff from this end. Thank you also, especially those of you joining us from Ground Zero. You are directly bearing the brunt of this struggle. You are pushing the revolution forward. The rest of us abroad are responsible for doing your outreach with respect to the international community. It's a very important part of the struggle as well. And we're at the point where right now we would like to start our conversation with you. There will be a telephone number which you can use to reach us here in studio, to raise questions if you have questions. So what I will try to do, let me take that role. I'll try to make sure that I can apportion the time, swing the thing around so people can come in, and we will make the big announcements that we need to make. Many of them are follow-up announcements to things we have said.
Sure.
But we are at such a crucial point in our revolution that communicating about everything that we're doing is so important and so crucial to how we coordinate across the globe. And this is going to be new religion. There was a time in this struggle when we had all of these demonstrations coordinated across the globe. And we cannot be able to coordinate those demonstrations so well when our people were not being massacred the way they are being massacred right now, and we can go to sleep when they are being slaughtered. So I'll let John start off with the first announcement, which we have to put out, and then I will go round to Mark Chevs and Kometa and Chairman Akwanga and hear their comments. So the main announcement we've got, projecting into the future.
Sure, like you got already from Comrade Tumfoin, or let me say Comrade Bo Herbert, because I know a lot still are nostalgic about how they heard that name at a given time. The big announcement today is that on the 19th of July 2019, that day is a Friday, Southern Cameroonians, dear friends, dear acquaintances, the sympathizers to our cause, in every capital of the world where our people are represented, will converge before the embassy of the United States of America in that country. They will carry specific messages that we are going to prepare together with the organizing committee that will be put in place tonight. And that organizing committee will comprise representatives from all over the world. And then they will hand in a document that will also be prepared to the officials they will meet at the various embassies. The purpose of these demonstrations, and let me mention at once that for the United States of America, we are all going to converge at the Capitol in Washington, District of Columbia, which means there will be no demonstrations in any other state of the United States of America except in Washington, D.C. We shall come from everywhere. We need to be at least 50,000, or why not more?
When are we doing the Million Man March? Is it not now?
Of course. So we need to be out here, all of us, in very good numbers to make sure that we communicate the message we intend to communicate to the government of the United States of America. And what is that message? First, we want to extend congratulations and thanks to the government of the United States of America for being very proactive and forthcoming in calling out the murderous government of President Paul Biya, and also for indicating the need for us to have dialogue on the root causes of this conflict, of this genocidal war being visited on our people. And number two, it will be to tell the rest of the world that when the United States of America is talking about the situation, denouncing what is happening in Southern Cameroon, they are not interfering in the internal affairs of a foreign country. We, the people of Southern Cameroon, have invited the government of the United States of America to intervene in this matter. We even want the government of the United States of America to come in what they call humanitarian emergency intervention to save lives. We are the owners of our land. And so we, the owners of the land, have invited and support what the government of the United States of America is doing. Therefore, any talk of interference into the affairs of a country should be about La République du Cameroun. Perhaps the people of La République du Cameroun could be angry that the United States is intervening in their affairs. But when it comes to Southern Cameroons, we are not part of their country. They got their independence on the 1st of October 1960. And therefore, there is no such thing as interfering in our matters. Okay. Sure, you already are aware, just to add this, that the genocide enablers and the so-called elites of the Southern Cameroons loitering in La République du Cameroun are planning to go before the United States of America's embassy in Yaoundé in a demonstration to go and claim that they are interfering in the internal affairs of their country. So we have to go out there and tell the world that the United States is not interfering in our affairs. We have invited them.
Thank you very much. Let me do this. When we take the floor, I will pray that we keep them in little bites of about 2 minutes so we can swing it around and give a chance for our people to come in with questions at the end. Let me go to Comrade Akwanga. Dr. Akwanga, please come in.
Yeah, can you hear me?
We hear you very well. 5 on 5. I hope my people on the ground can hear you.
Okay. It is important that when someone gives you a handshake, you should equally embrace that handshake. Despite all its trivialities and shortcomings, the United States of America and a host of other countries have so far spoken out against the ethnocide and genocide in our homeland. And it is important that we tell them thank you. But we equally have to let them know that that is yet not good enough. That until our people are permanent in a situation of what we call a permanent positive peace, the PPP, we will not stop knocking at their doors and windows and making sure that as long as we are not able to sleep, the rest of mankind cannot sleep peacefully. It is important that we continue to appeal to the rest of the world and to the conscience of the good people of the United States and elsewhere that we long ago as mankind said never again. We should not only end this war in our homeland, but we should make sure that the war will end with the change of the status of the people of the Southern Cameroon. It should not just be ending violence that was imposed upon us, the right to self-defense that was imposed upon us, but it is that the world should ask itself that when the guns become silent, will it be temporal or permanent? Will the people of the former Southern Cameroon, today Ambassador, be in a position, I repeat, in a position to decide their own fate? That is what the world should be able to ask itself. There is violence all over the continent of Africa, from Mali to Mauritania, right down to Mozambique. Wars are fought from every corner of our continent. And most of these wars are not caused by us. Yes, The majority of them are as a result of the faulty boundaries that were imposed upon us. But it is our right to decide our own destiny. It is our right to carve our own path. No one should tell us that independence or freedom, total and unconditional freedom, is not good for us. No one should be there to tell us that what he or she thinks is good for us is a federal system in which we will be less than 3-5 citizens. No, that is not the right or the decision that has to be made by any other people. How we want to live our lives, what type of nation we want to live in, or state or country, will be determined by us, not by others. If the world wants peace around the God of peace, I mean a permanent positive peace, because now the world can impose a temporal negative peace, like what has been existing for long. They can use all other methods to impose that. But I can assure everyone who is listening to me that even in the next 50 years, that will unravel, and what is happening now will be considered like a training for what will happen 50 years after now. So we better solve this problem now. Nobody should think that they can tap us into some sort of regions and think that we will just forget about our right to self-determination. It will never work. Artificial solutions to problems in the continent of Africa have only led to more violence, more bloodshed, to the benefit of those who would signify us, persecute us. Those who allow their own people to demonstrate even on the least of issues. But when it comes to Africa, they tell us we're not good enough to cry foul.
So thank
you very much, Chairman. Thank you very much, Chairman Akwanga.
At this moment, be strong enough.
Thank you, Chairman. Let's take that opening as an opening statement. Let me go to Mark. Mark, before I come to Chairman Kometa.
Yes, we can hear you very well, Mark. 5 on 5.
Yes, I want to salute the Amazonian people. I want to salute our people all over the world who are following this live broadcast. And I want to thank everyone for their continuous efforts towards our liberation. I want to thank everyone for all the small contributions, be it in kind or in effort. It is the little streams that make an ocean. And so no one should minimize whatever little effort they are putting towards us achieving the ultimate goal of liberating our people and our homeland. I want to pay respects to our restoration forces on ground zero and to all people who are standing up to defend themselves and to defend their families and to protect themselves and their families from the harsh realities that they face from the regime and from the government that has decided to carry out some of the most brutal assaults on innocent people all across our territories.
So, Mark, yes, your statement about especially the demo, the worldwide demo of the 19th of July 2019 before the U.S. embassies?
I'm talking, I wanted to lay this out first, and I want to say that the endeavor that we are putting out to our people is about gathering in front of the U.S. embassies because of two reasons. As other colleagues have said, the U.S. has really stood firm behind our cause and have been real champions for our freedom. And, you know, when people advocate on your behalf, it is also good to say thank you and to encourage them to continue to be advocates. So this is the first fold of why we are asking that our people come out in another way to celebrate what the U.S. has done for us, to thank them and to encourage them to do more. I also want to say that the reason why this is needed is because we have arrived at a time where we need to mobilize again. The world has been pushing and putting pressure on the government, and it is time that we remobilize to show that we are still standing and we will continue to stand, and justice must prevail.
Thank you very much, Mark Chaps, for that opening statement. Let me go to Chairman Elvis Kometa of the SCNC. Chairman Kometa? Yes, come in, please. Yes, Chairman, go ahead.
Yeah, we can get you, Chairman Kometa.
Okay, because at first I wasn't getting you guys. Well, fellow Southern Cameroonians and Ambazonians, it's a pleasure for us once more to come out to meet you and tell you what's going on.
Chairman Kometa, could I make a little suggestion? I think if you could find a way of just putting your phone down so that it's steady, because your image is playing.
And your cap is actually covering your eyes.
I beg your pardon?
Your face cap is actually covering your eyes. Great.
Leave my face cap alone.
Go ahead, Chairman.
Yes, fellow Southern Cameroonians, we know the enemy is back, is on the wall. And what's going on now are the last kicks of a dying horse. But we must not retreat. And we must not give up the guard. A few days ago, we heard that the governor of the northern zone, he has uplifted all restrictions and that people are allowed to move. Please, we should be very careful. Why has this been done? This is being done because the Nations Cup will be starting this weekend. So they want to sell their alcohol, deceive people to come out and drink, and then they come out and kill us in the numbers. Please do not fall for this trap. Do not. Here in Washington, D.C., all of us in the U.S. were expected to be at the U.S. Capitol. There is one U.S. Capitol, and we know Union Station. All trains from all over the U.S. they lead to Union Station. So we expect all Southern Cameroonians and Ambazonians to come in their thousands to show the world that 3 years of war has not pushed us back. We are still fighting, and we'll keep on fighting until we achieve our ultimate goal, which is the goal of restore of the statehood of Southern Cameroon's Ambazonia. Fellow Southern Cameroonians, Ambazonians, yes, I again salute those who paid the ultimate price. I salute those who have paid the ultimate price, those in prisons, those in the bushes, the refugees. Please, we have not forgotten about you. We are doing what we can to make sure that all of you come back home and all of us come back to build that country. Again, we will not forget anyone. All those who are in the bushes, those who are in the prisons. There are so many now who are at the borders between Mexico and the US, trying to get into the US. We are here to give you the support that you need when you get into the US. And we once more appeal to all of you to come out all over the world, not only in the US, in all US embassies all over the world. Come and let the world. We say thank you to the US for what you are doing. But again, we say it's not enough. We want to see this situation given a permanent solution, and of course, the solution of two independent states.
Okay.
I'd like to join all of you on the message with respect to these demonstrations on the 19th of July.
Oh, I forgot that you hadn't spoken about it. You know, you can be so close to the stream and die of thirst.
And wash your hands with spittle. Yeah, let me put in my own small message with respect to this demonstration on the 19th of July. When they have made war on your people, for the period that they have done, when they have slaughtered your parents and your sisters and raped your baby girls and taken breastfeeding children from their mothers and slaughtered, they hope that you are discouraged, that you give up, that you tell the world that whatever was bad is better than what we are going through now. People of Ambazonia, you were prepared for this. You have gone through the 58 years of torture, of slavery, and you have decreed that it is enough. You've not done this alone. The spirit that moves you is not your spirit. The spirit that moves you comes from on high. And so the moment comes when we need to recreate the communion, to recreate the religion that we had together. And this movement on the 19th of July is our opportunity to tell the world that Ambazonia will not go quietly into the night. We will not give up. We will not surrender. We will not back down. Not to anybody. And also, we will not let anybody speak on our behalf or determine for us what is best for us. Because we've heard, including from the United States of America, tell us conflicting messages about what exactly they are doing. It is our opportunity when we go to Capitol Hill to remind the United States that we, the people of Ambazonia, are doing exactly what they did in 1776. And we will not have less unless they want to tell us that we are less human. We are an independent people who have to determine our future on our own. And we will not allow the world to continue to dictate to us a colonial arrangement that we have rejected and that has hurt us badly. We also want to put out this message. People have said out there that this demonstration, which consists in part of thanking the United States of America, is a kind of CPDM demonstration, a motion of support. It is absolutely ridiculous to hear people say things like that. We are praying the world to come to the assistance of Ambazonia. And when someone does something to you, you go to them and you say thank you. Don't be like the 9 lepers who did not show up to say thank you, my master. We must go there and tell them, we thank you for what you have done. We regret that it is not enough. And we explain to them what else we are looking for from the United States. And I will tell you, because many of you will be organizing on your own, this is not a demonstration that belongs to the SCLC. This is a demonstration for the people of Ambazonia. And you, as a grassroots person, as a citizen of Ambazonia, you are being invited here to assume your job as a citizen, to mobilize our people, mobilize our friends, mobilize people who are against colonialism and annexation, to join you in that big march on the U.S. Embassy, to tell them, among other things, because some of the 2 top messages that John gave a moment ago do not speak to all the issues that we need to tell the United States. The United States has been the lead country that has recognized every one of the 34 countries that has become independent since 1990. Well, it is time for them to recognize Ambazonia. We have to tell them that. The United States has provided, in the situation where people have to provide self-defense for themselves, they have provided support in weapons for those people to defend themselves. They absolutely are providing it to La République du Cameroun against Boko Haram. Well, our Boko Haram is Paul Biya. We need that kind of financial and military support to take on the Boko Haram that is tearing down the people of Ambazonia. These are messages we need to take to Capitol Hill and take to all U.S. embassies around the world and ask them to mobilize so that our people can go home this year. Even if it was 40 years in the desert for the people of Israel, I mean, we have paid a bonus. 18 additional years. I think God is listening to us right now. We need to walk into Boya and find the promised land.
That's about 20 additional years. Yeah. And let me quickly add this to what Comrade Kometa said a while ago. if the colonial governor of the Northwest, as they call it, but that's our northern zone, lifted the curfew on movements, it is not even basically because of the Nations Cup, but that's one of the reasons though. But the main reason is because there are some representatives of member countries of the UN Security Council currently in that country. So they know that they'll be going around. And so they are taking up all of those things to do what they know how to do best. Stage a make-believe. To give the impression that everything has come back to normal, that the situation is under control. That they shouldn't bother about intervening or talking about, a third-party mediated settlement, because they have the situation under control. This is something to watch out. You have to be very careful. And if you notice again, the same the minister of the defense of that crooked country issued a release. No, the minister of communication issued a release announcing the death of 4 of their soldiers in an explosion in Manfe, that's Manu County. And then he expresses surprise that that kind of attack could happen at a time the government is doing everything to hasten up inclusive dialogue. Hear that. This is the same government that even as we are speaking, their soldiers are burning places. Even as we are speaking, they are raping our daughters. Even as we are speaking, they are arming our Mbororo brothers, the ignorant ones, giving them weapons, AK-47. We have seen it on camera. We have seen some of them confess. They are arming them to attack our people. Yet they become the first to cry foul. These are the numerous things that should make us want to go out there. And I want to bring this message to us. Take note. We truly have observed that there is some chaos, some division, some misunderstandings in the struggle. But remember that as a people, we, the people of the Southern Cameroons, have always known when to keep our differences aside and rise up to the occasion. This is one of such occasions. We must forget about anything that divides us and think but of those things that unite us, those things that bring us together, and tell ourselves that this is a very important effort when numbers will matter. Because even as we speak, the former colonial prime minister in La République, Philemon Yang, is busy holding meetings with women all over the place to mobilize them so that they come out in their thousands. They will bring even people from La République to join them, to march on the US embassy in Yaoundé, to convey a message against you, to convey a message against me. We should do better than them. We have always been able to do better than them, and it is our right. You know, the thief always prepares better than the owner. But let us make a kind of reversal of that situation this time around. We must come out in huge numbers. And one of the things we're also going to be telling the world, we cannot continue to stay silent when our brethren are in prison unjustifiably. So on that day too, we shall be asking for the unconditional and immediate release call that the UN should call on the release of these people. Of Comrade Sisi Kwayuktabe, Comrade Stashan Wilfred, Comrade Fongalamfo, Comrade Eyambe Elias Ebay, Comrade Che Fidelis. All of these people, you haven't forgotten Comrade Penn, Senator Penn, who is there, Mancho Bibixi. All of these people, they are there in their thousands. The time for us to redact their pictures, carry them along with us as we go out on this day in our thousands, is very important to remind the world what we are losing, what we have as problem before us in Tumfoin.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we will continue to mobilize at the level of the US. Please, if you want to join the Global Organizing Committee, some of you have already signed up. If you want to join the Global Organizing Committee for these demonstrations, send an email. Send an email to our email address.
That is deliberationcouncil@gmail.com. Deliberation Council, one word. Okay? THELIBERATION COUNCIL@gmail.com. The Liberation Council at gmail.com.
The definite article day, the word liberation, which all of us should embrace, and council@gmail.com.
Just before we move further, I'm going to suggest that we take some few calls at this point.
No, I wanted us to cover subject number 2 quickly, then we can open up. So subject number 2 is the resource mobilization, because none of this stuff is going to happen without mobilizing the funds that need to happen to be behind them. Now, first, whatever you are doing now to support our people on the ground, whatever you're doing to support a group that you feel close to, please continue to do it. Double up that effort. Empty out your wallet, let the Lord replace it. Now, when they say it from the altar, apparently you believe it. I just say it from the political podium. But do put some money behind that effort, because our people will not get freedom unless the volunteers working to bring us there can absolutely get there. So continue to do that. But because we are mobilizing worldwide with respect to this, because other things are getting together, it is important that you look out also for a calendar that will be coming out from the council. We said we would like to have a joint treasury. We have set up one. The purpose is we can make sure that no political leader is running away with your money back. That the programs that are supposed to be implemented are programs that will be controlled. So if I stole any money, John will be able to tell you that I stole some money. And Comrade Akwanga will be able to tell you that I stole some money. But if the money came only to me and I did not report about it, you will not know. It is part of the reason why we have set up that joint treasury. I'll let you start on the financial side.
I'll even stop you quickly so that you don't even go further. Tell the people that you can't even have access to that money. So
absolutely. That's part of the reason. Part of the reason is that
I can't have access to the money. You can have access. None of the leaders will have access. There's a board of directors.
Yes. This is so important, because it's part of the thing that will bring sanity to our revolution. We cannot have money go out without accountability. And, I believe that the people of Ambazonia, at some point when we get to Boya, we will decide the process for determining who did what and who took what he did not have to take. But at this point, we have recognizing that there's a major problem of management of resources and also management of our cohesion amongst ourselves. We have said we will sync our differences, get together. We will invite everyone, like we've invited everyone with respect to this demonstration. And we go to everyone that anyone else will invite, bringing everyone together. But we think that we need to work increasingly and exclusively through this joint treasury, where there is a management in place, there is a transparency mechanism in place that will help all of our people get to where we're going. I lost the sound there, but
I also lost the sound myself.
Did we go off?
Yes.
We may stop.
Yes, it seems so. We went off somehow.
We're on? Go on, John.
Because I couldn't get
you could start off on the finance.
Sure. Yes, I would like to say this very importantly. The lines are already open. I think that the telephone number is right up there. That's 804-593-9078. If you're out of America, you begin with a +1, and you will be able to get to us on this program, and you can put to us your question. And we want to take this calls in this particular segment because this broadcast is not intended to be long. And so talking about finances, you are already aware that we launched a common treasury, and first of all, in Tumfoin, we first of all should congratulate the myriad of our comrades who are already contributing into that treasury. A good lot of you are already contributing into that treasury. Some have taken a weekly interval. They're contributing every week. There are some who have made a one-time contribution and are mobilizing to see how to set up their general payments. Some were waiting for the website to be able to put it. And the good news is that the Ambazonia Relief Fund, which is the name of our joint treasury, now has a website, and the website is already operational. Do we have a caller on the line? Okay, so in Tumfoin, we have the first caller on the line. Do you want to take that caller? Hello.
Hello, welcome.
Hello?
I don't have the sound on my earpiece.
We don't have the feedback.
Hello?
So sorry, comrade on the phone, I don't hear your sound,
Yeah.
but the technical team might be able to transmit your question to us.
Or perhaps they'll be able to get you come across to us. But while they're doing that, let me continue saying what I was saying. So I was saying that, you know, the website of the Ambazonia Relief Fund is now operational. It is operational at www.ambarrelief.org. www.ambarrelief is A-M-B-A-R as in Robert, E as in elephant, L as in lion, I as in insight or India, E as in envelope again, F as in fund, and then you have
.org.
.org. www.ambarrelief.org. So when you log into that site, you're going to be able to find a portion where it says support us, and when you click on that portion, it gives you room to go to where you can do your donation. Although you see PayPal there, it doesn't stop you. Fill up the amount you want to give, click pay with PayPal, and it will give you an option if you don't have a PayPal account to pay with your card. And so you click no, don't have PayPal account, and then you pay with your card. Normally you do your contributions, and you can set up you know, recurrent you know, contributions and all the like, and all the likes. We previously gave a Cash App number. I'm sure we'll record that number before this
Go ahead, just put it in
and
now.
you can also contribute directly by PayPal if you don't want to go onto the website. You simply pay through the web address ambarrelief2018@gmail.com. ambarrelief2018@gmail.com. That is AMBARELIEF 2018 and then at gmail.com. I'm going to give the Cash App number much later since I have it off the heart
Okay.
and the
So let's-
sponsor is preparing this to bring to me. So we are going to also come out there in the various states in the United States before going worldwide for a donation spree as the leaders for you know, a fundraising spree. And we are going to start, like we said, at the curtain raiser will be in Chicago because that is where the chairman of the Ambazonia Relief Fund is based. So we'll begin with Chicago. That's in Illinois. And when we will leave Illinois, we will get to Massachusetts. When we leave Massachusetts, we'll go to Minnesota. After Minnesota, we will come home first because, you know, where the headquarters of the SCLC is in Washington, D.C. So we'll come back home to the DMV area, but beginning perhaps with Maryland. And so these are the first states that we actually had to announce. And when this calendar will be fully prepared, we shall now give the specific dates of these movements. But those of you in the areas just mentioned, take note that you're going to be hosting us in your various states. And so it will be a moment for us to do our best to see how we aid this struggle to continue to move strong. Take note, there's a lot of talk out there in Tumfoin about negotiations, about talks.
Hold on
No one
first.
goes to those kind of things. No one goes to those kind of things when he's weak.
Let's hold on with
need
that
to
one first.
Solidify ourselves. So take note.
Let's go with the finances first. Let's do this round. Again, if you want to complement the first part where we talked about the demonstration and link it up to the finances, please feel free to do so. Let me take the same order we followed a moment ago. Let me start again with Comrade Akwanga.
Commander Kwanga is. Okay, there's a call. Okay.
Yeah, we got a call coming in. Yeah, we'll take that caller, please. Hello. Yes, welcome, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon. Is that Mr. Bohabet?
Bohabet speaking, yes.
Yeah, this is Vitalis.
Hi, Vitalis, how are you, sir?
I'm good, and you?
Long time no see, no
John.
here.
Yes, I'm
Good
here.
afternoon, man.
I'm here, Mr. Vitalis. Comrade, how are you today?
Okay.
What?
Hey, I got a suggestion. Please, when you guys have good information like the email addresses, a bank account number, instead to be like just talking on the break like that, I would like you guys to have it a small, clean, white sheet of cardboard, print in bold, like the email address, account number, and then when you are talking, you hold it You hold it on the screen like that, let people see it.
Yeah.
Let people see it. I mean, that is far more better, because it's not everybody that has a pen when he's like walking on the street like me right now, watching you guys live. I have a pen to write down that information, or I can calm it. Then by the time I get home, I'll forget it. You know.
Thank you, Vitalis. That's
so
a very.
I'm pleading that next time they print those information and keep it. When you want to, you just carry it up so that people can see it for a while, and then they before you put it down. And then after some minutes, again you check it up.
Yeah.
And you should let people see it and write it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vitalis. We were expecting, hoping that in the same way we have the phone number up, so we're going to have that info up, scrolling on the screen. But yes, we'll make sure that we take care of
We'll
that.
definitely do that.
And thank you, Vitalis. You are a great soldier. Continue, my brother.
Thank you so much, Comrade Vitalis.
So let's go back on our round. You know, I had called Comrade Akwanga. We were going back in the same order. Comrade Akwanga, is he there?
Okay, it's like we have some.
It looks like we have some difficulty on that end. Mark from out of Canada, Mark Chubbs, are you there? Can you come in now, please? Again, think about connecting to the two subjects if you want to. Mark, come in.
Comrade Mark, hear us?
There's a delay.
Yeah, Mark is talking, but we can't hear him.
We can hear Mark. Okay.
Yes, while they
So,
push some buttons for us to hear Mark.
Let's, Mark, we can't hear you. So let's see whether we can hear Comrade Kometa, and if we cannot, Comrade Kometa, please come in. If we also cannot hear Comrade Kometa, the best thing for us to do would be to try and wrap this up right now, two of us, and then reprogram. But, you know, before we do that, let's say we're coming out of Germantown. This broadcast is coming to you from out of Germantown. If I tell you what kind of technology I got in front of me to make this happen, connecting, you know, all kinds of channels out there on social media and bringing all of them to one platform, you will not believe it. But, you know, Ambazonia has got talent, plenty of it sitting in front of us right here. We will acknowledge at the end of the show. But we know that our host is stepping out at this moment because of all the commitments. And absolutely most thankful for that.
We are benefiting from the technology of Trinitech Consulting. That's Trinitech Global. And so we are very delighted that we have this opportunity. Mark, I'm sure by the time the technical conditions are okay, you come in. But if not, we want to be very thankful that you guys all stayed on, and so we continue with the fundraiser. Point.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I have a lot to say about.
We are still open to take telephone calls. So if you're able to call us from wherever, you can as well call. Comrade Mark, if you're hearing us. If you have difficulties coming through this, perhaps you can just give a call to that number that you see on the screen, Mark, and then you will still be able to come back. And I think that holds same for Comrade Akwanga and for Comrade Kometa. So you can call us on that number. You see there, 804-593-9078. So Mark, you can hit us on that number, and then you will come back in, because we appear to have some difficulties getting your face on screen again. So, Ntumfoin.
Thank you very much, and again, our apologies to our colleagues, especially colleagues on Ground Zero. It's not a lot of times that we have this communion, and when we do, it's great that, I mean, it's important that it should be full communion. It's as if we didn't go to confession before we were doing this. This stuff is not working as it should work. But we say a prayer when we close this one, and we'll believe that when we do a next one, it will be a lot better than this. Obviously, we'll have everyone together. This time we couldn't have everyone together. People are some people are off. I mean, such wide distances. People in Canada connecting in and all that. So it makes it difficult sometimes for all of us to be physically there.
Well, we are hopefully going to perfect this and get you know, some other time. This was the first initiative. This is the first. This is our trial edition, and so we are delighted all the same that we're able to have all the voices.
Yeah.
And all the faces shy of those who were either flying to one place or the other, still on assignments related to this liberation struggle.
But again, when the fundraiser begins in Chicagoland, or let me call it Obama land, it's certainly for a reason. The people talk about Chicago Mafia. I don't want to go there. But whatever it is that you guys do that's called Mafia, I don't want to call it Mafia. Just make it look good. Just make sure that the pot is full for Ambazonia. And I think that when I've seen some of the images that I've seen from out of Ground Zero, when I've seen surgery without anesthesia, when I've seen people at the service of our people and of our homeland, giving up limb, having to lay there and get bullets pulled out of their flesh without so much as anesthesia, get the wounds stitched together. And just imagine the level of sacrifice. There is nothing, no money can buy that kind of level of sacrifice. And so for all of us who are trying to help financially or on the diplomatic push or with funding for self-defense or support for self-defense, we have to have a level of humility here and understand that the foot soldiers in the forefront, the people who have said, we will prevent these people from coming in and slaughtering our friends, our neighbors, our family members. For all of them, we owe a huge debt of gratitude that money cannot buy. So whatever you do on the money side, please remember, bring your American friend with you, bring your Spanish friend with you, bring your French friend with you, bring your English friend with you, bring your German friend with you. This is a cause for humanity. The people of Ambazonia should not be written into history books tomorrow like the Tutsi people of Rwanda because nobody wanted to assist them at the time they were being slaughtered, or like the Jews in Nazi Germany. This is the time when the world needs to stand up for the people of Ambazonia and support us. So not only from the point of view of finance, but also from the point of view of bringing your friends to that demonstration. If you come to that demonstration only with your Ambazonian friend, you are failing Ambazonia. You need to convince your American neighbor, your Chinese neighbor, your French neighbor, your English neighbor, your German neighbor to come with you to that demonstration and to follow up with the member of parliament, with the member of Congress in that area to make sure that our case is raised at the highest level and all attention given to it. John.
Yeah, and must want to add that if you have never taken part in any demonstration thus far, because for one reason or the other, you are not able to, or because the time was always short each time demonstrations were announced, this is the time for you to begin preparing. Today is the 17th. It means we have 1 month, 2 days to prepare for this demonstration. Those of you who are in the DMV area, begin making arrangements to provide accommodation for our brothers and sisters who will be coming from other states. Those of you in other states who can organize driving party, begin informing neighbors, friends. When you go to your various village meetings and all whatnot, begin making arrangements of how you will move together. Those who will not be able to drive their ways and who are in areas where buses can be chartered, begin making the arrangements right now. I must confess that if we want to look at the divisions among us, we will say truly we are deeply divided at certain levels because of some of the misunderstandings that should not be in our midst. But believe you me, please, this is the time for us to ignore those ones. We come first together. We show these huge numbers and tell the United States of America and the rest of the world what we want. Tell them, we believe you have been doing quite much, but that is not enough. We need much more than just what you are doing. We need more than speeches and resolutions. We need action. This is the time to do that. There is an African proverb, Bohabet, which says that anytime you get the mother hen quacking, screaming because the hawk is descending, what do? You run out from the house and get to the direction where that hawk is coming down and scare the hawk away before you come back and warn the mother hen for wandering so far away into the forest where she exposed the chicks to the attacks of the hawk. This should be our thoughts. This should be our approach. This should be our situation. Let us ignore some of those things that may set us apart and tell ourselves, this time I must come there. I must be counted. I must bring my friends. Because when the people, the government of the United States, will take their eyes and look at the sea of humans that will be at the Capitol on the 19th, at the sea of humans who will be before the various U.S. embassies across the world, that message would be stronger. But if they see 15 people here, 20 people there, 30 people there, you know what is going to happen? They will fall to that narrative that La République du Cameroon has been trying to drive along with their French counterparts and some bought over individuals and newspapers, that the majority of the people of the southern Cameroons don't want to be independent. That is the narrative that they're going to push. They will say, you can see for yourself. If you see the few people who came out there, those are the only people who are creating confusion and disturbing. My dear brothers and sisters, we can't afford to let that happen. At least in her missteps and in her attempts to cloud our, what is happening in our country, the senior researcher for Africa for Human Rights Watch, Ilaria Allegrozi, said, I'm sure she said that in spite of ourselves because the evidence is overwhelming. She said, more and more, the people of the southern Cameroons are in huge numbers buying into what she still calls a separatist narrative, buying into the narrative of independence. It is because of our resilience that even those who are most addicted to always saying that the majority of the people want to live together with the murderers, with the enemy, to live together with those who are raping our children, with those who are raping our wives, with those who, like in Tumfoin said, are seizing 4-month-old babies from their mothers and slaughtering them. That those kind of people are a huge number in our midst, which is not true. That is why the International Crisis Group, which is a French-based and French-supported group, will always say, we must be able to play this game of numbers. Come out there because of your conviction that we not only have to be free, but we deserve this independence. And in Tumfoin, just before I hand over the microphone to you, we must always remind our people and remind the United States of America that one of their ambassadors, Zablosky said in 1959 that as far as the United States of America was concerned, the people of the southern Cameroons had attained self-determination. And their government was congratulating the people of the southern Cameroons on attaining self-determination. That was after the vote. I think that was 1961. That was after the vote that resulted in Resolution 1608. Am I right?
Yep.
That resulted in Resolution 1608, where a majority of the countries of the world voted for the independence of the southern Cameroons. It is of utmost importance for us to make sure that our numbers matter. Let us come out there in huge numbers. After we finish showing the world this demonstration of force, if we still have our misunderstandings, we can come back home and continue fixing them.
People of Ambazonia, they can tell you anything. There is not another country in the world as important, as powerful as the United States. There is none. And there is not a single country since 1990 that gave recognition to any one of those 34 countries that gained independence, and it mattered until the United States had given their green light. When the people of South Sudan fought for 30 years, losing 1 million people in the war, it took the United States Congress to push for the independence of South Sudan. If they did not do it, no one was going to do it. And to give you a good illustration of why it is almost impossible for you to get there without the support of the United States, China was an independent country for a long time. And the United States decided they were not going to recognize China, they were going to recognize Taiwan. You can ask China how frustrating that was, and how recognition by everyone else, but without recognition from the United States, what that meant for China. We can disperse our diplomatic effort or we can concentrate it on the one key player who has demonstrated that in the name of liberty, in the name of freedom, in the name of freeing people who are captives, they are willing, because it is an integral part of their value system, they are willing to go out of their way to do what is needed. What Comrade John said at the beginning of this program is important for us. We must continue to hammer home the message that the people of Ambazonia, as a sovereign people, welcome and invite the people of the United States to come into the affairs of Ambazonia, to come into our land, provide humanitarian assistance, make sure that we can get a buffer zone between our people and the people of La République du Cameroon, create a demilitarized zone between us and the people of La République du Cameroon, and ensure that they can reaffirm and uphold their own vote in favor of our independence in 1961. It is one part of their responsibility. The second part of their responsibility are international treaty obligations, including their treaty obligations to freedom from fear. It is an obligation of the United States to free people who face fear. That's why they're in Venezuela today. That's why they went into Libya. That's why they went into Afghanistan and Iraq. That is why they freed France and Britain and Germany and all these countries that were taken over by Nazi Germany. They did that in the name of freedom from fear. They also have an international obligation under the 2005 responsibility to protect and genocide prevention. It is an obligation that the United States needs to be reminded about, and needs to be reminded by the sovereign people of Ambazonia. We need to be able to tell them that this is what we want. The people who invited the United States to go into Libya were Libyans. It was not someone else. And so we, the people of Ambazonia, must recognize that the people of La République du Cameroon are doing everything to prevent the people of the United States from lending our people the support we need to get to full emancipation, total unconditional independence. And we cannot let them stand in our way. We've got to bulldoze our way to that capital and make sure that the world hears our message, that the United States hears our message, and that they understand that we have a cry die, and that we want them at our cry die. We want them to wipe away our tears and move us to the next level. So let us come out in numbers that tell that story, in numbers that invite the people of the United States truly to recognize that there is a huge problem happening in Ambazonia. We would not want to keep this broadcast going forever. So. I think we need to let you at home especially go catch some sleep, enjoy the evening. I know how difficult it is.
Just before we wrap up, I want to make this this a very interesting case. Take note. In 1961, because of the people of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, the world denied us independence on ground that we were too poor to be able to sustain ourselves, that we do not have enough resources to keep us together as a country, and that we were going to be dependent on the British taxpayer. Today, in 2019, the world wants to deny us independence again, this time not that we are too poor, but that we are too rich. That we of Southern Cameroon contribute 60% to the GDP of the entire Republic of Cameroon. And that if we get independent, La République du Cameroon will suffer. They will have difficulties developing their own country because they will be too poor. Isn't this a huge paradox? First, you deny us independence, that we are poor, we can't sustain ourselves. Today, you want to deny us independence, that we are too rich. And that if we get independence, the person who has been torturing us for 60 years will suffer. You want to deny us independence on grounds that if you give us independence, the monster who is slaughtering our babies, raping our wives, our mothers, burning our old people alive in their houses will suffer. So we of Southern Cameroons are meant to be pseudo people. One, they tie us to la République du Cameroun that we can't take care of ourselves. We went there, we have taken care of them for all these years. Next, they say you have taken care of them so much so that now it's impossible for you to, sever them from your breast milk. If you sever them, they will die. My dear people, take note that a recent study, quickly published, has demonstrated that some 300 new mining incidents have been found in that country. And you know where 90% of those mining incidents are? In the northern zone of Southern Cameroon. That is why La République du Cameroun is on their toes. That is why they will bribe you with 10 million, 15 million to betray your own brothers. For how many days will you eat that money? So as we wrap up this broadcast, I want to make this fervent appeal. Those of you who are not yet contributing, some of you are withholding your money on grounds that, there is misunderstanding, there's disorder, there's been misappropriation of resources, money has been unaccounted for. Look, there's something you say that word. Accounting, you first of all close the tap. And we have done everything like that, to close the tap, to make sure that those places that gave room for leakages and all whatnot have been taken care of. Going forward, we'll not run again into that. And that what had happened before, everything will be done. Either today, by those who are already doing it, or, in the nearest future, as soon as we get home, to make sure that those who must have gambled with the public resources meant to help us prosecute this war pay a serious price for that. But meantime, the struggle has to continue. Meantime, we have to continue making sure that we keep this liberation struggle alive. That is why we cannot also stop contributing. That is why we cannot stop spending. That is why everything will still have to be done to make sure we get to our journey. We cannot stop the journey midway and first of all stay down to continue crying while the enemy keeps charging after us. In this will be my final submission.
Thank you very much, John. I like to thank our people at home. Thank you for staying up late to follow this broadcast. Thank you for the troubles you're going through. Please know that we're with you in spirit at all times. We cannot say that we feel the pain that you do, but you can believe that we are totally united with you. We recognize that it is a difficult time that our people are going through. We know that it is a difficult price to pay, but you can really be sure that if we were with you there, at least from our past, you know what we will be doing. You know that we will be with you in the jungle. We will be with you fighting. We will be with you, wherever you go. So this is genuine what we're trying to do for our people. Many of us could have kind of said, I live abroad, I want to just, mind my business. But that's not been in our nature. It's our responsibility to make sure that our people go home. It's our responsibility to make sure that we rebuild. I want to encourage those of you who may feel discouraged, because when you look around and you look at the country completely destroyed by the war, I want to reassure you that in places where people have had the energy of the people of Ambazonia, the spirit of the people of Ambazonia, when they come out of conflict, like the people of Rwanda, the first assignment I was doing this morning was loading a container that's going to Rwanda. It's a country that I went to for the first time shortly after the genocide, and where I worked a little bit to support them reform the media sector after the genocide, to make sure that the media sector would never ever support genocide. And I returned to that country to see the amazing transformation that's going on there. We have Ambazonians today investing there. and headed there because it is a destination that welcomes. It's a destination, it's a country that has been rebuilt from scratch. The way La République had contributed, if they contributed anything to, let's call it development, I can call it underdevelopment of Ambazonia, it is a lucky thing maybe that they are destroying whatever they underdeveloped for us, because there is going to be a new day for Ambazonia when we get to independence, and we will rebuild a country that they will forever admire. We will rebuild a place so you can live in the kind of decency and dignity that you deserve. And a lot of the experience that we have obtained from going through conflict areas elsewhere, and someone like me working with the United Nations in such conflict areas, some of the experiences that we have had, they allow us to absolutely understand where our people need to go. Please, let's think very seriously about the need for us to stay cohesive, inclusive, open to each other, open in our hearts, open in our actions, united in the actions that we take. And let us show the world that if things divide us, things like strategy, things like our groups, things like the leaders we support, when it comes down to the issue of Ambazonia and independence for Ambazonia, we are a united people. That is why this demonstration on the 19th of July is so important for all of us. It is not about a group. If you think it is about your group, bring the flag of your group. Bring your leader. Make sure that your leader has prominence if that's what you want. Don't stay out because you think that the people who are sitting here today promoting it was John or myself. This is not for us. This is for Ambazonia. If any other person is organizing it, we will be there like we've been to all other things. So again, thank you very much. We look forward to seeing all of you. We look forward especially to all of you around the world who are going to be registering to this global organizing committee. Those of you who are going to be taking up your responsibility as a citizen to lead organization in your capital. If your movement is not doing it, don't worry about your movement. As a citizen, you have a responsibility to go up there. And don't be shy. If you are the only person in the city where you live, and you are the only one who is going to this demonstration, please go to the demonstration and get in that committee, that organizing committee, because you will receive the paperwork you need to deliver there. It will not be paperwork in the name of John or myself. It will be paperwork signed by you, taken to the people of the United States at that embassy point. These people will regroup these things. By the end of the day, they will have a count of how many of us came out across the world, and they will know the extent to which we are serious about this. If you have a die and people show up at the die house and you're organizing a feast, they will join you in a feast. They will forget that there's a die. We have a die. We need to make sure that the United States know that we have a die. If we are running a feast at the time we should have a die, they will mistake what we are looking for. So people of Ambazonia, the 19th of July is a rendezvous. It is one you should not miss. It is one you should all join in, and we should make sure that the world hears us loud and clear. And again, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
And sorry again for the technical problems. Next time we will do this better.
It was a pleasure talking to everyone here. Just a reminder on what you just said a while ago. Quickly, this being alone and playing the lone soldier. I recall at the time of the struggle, a young man stood alone. I don't know, I can't remember which country, and it was snowing. He stood alone in the snow.
Yeah, I remember that image.
With a placard.
Yeah.
And people driving past stopped to ask him what he was doing in that biting cold. And he lifted the placard and explained to them what was happening back to his people in southern Cameroon.
Yeah.
That was super
That's a hero.
effective. When I hear that, I feel like tears. When I think of it, I feel like tears running down my cheeks. My people, let us continue to stand for what we believe in. Let us continue to stand for what we deserve. We should never ever settle for less than we deserve, because we will end up with even less than we settled for. Let us remain resilient. Let us remain strong. On that 19th of July, we are not going to glorify any group. We are not going to glorify any platform.
By the way,
we are going to speak for Ambazonia. The only pictures, the only photographs we'll be carrying on that day will be the photographs of our heroes who have won paid the price already, the ultimate price. Photographs of our heroes who are in the dungeons of La République du Cameroon that will be urging the world to make sure that they free them. And again, it will be photographs, the photograph of this young child of 4 who has now joined the martyrs in heaven, fighting for the freedom of Ambazonia. Take the rendezvous. July 19, which is a Friday, 2019. That is exactly 32 days from today.
And by the way, this is not only, and this is an important part to make, because we've been mentioning the issues of being together. Some of our people believe that they seek federalism. I don't know what they are looking for, but if they seek federalism and they want it truly, their biggest chance of doing that will be to join us. But we will deliver you gold. It will be better than federalism. Don't stay out because you think this is a demonstration only for those who are for independence. If you are Ambazonian, join us. Because if you want to get a better life for your people and for dignity for yourself, it's only in this process. So thank you very much again, and good night all of you on Ground Zero.
Have a gentle
and
night.
Let's give thanks again to our technical team and to our host here.
Yes, we want to sincerely thank Trinitech Global or Trinitech Consulting for making it possible for us to have this broadcast. We promise we're going to have this broadcast almost every week, perhaps almost every week until the 19th of July. That is going to be our own sacrifice. Ntumfo and I, we drove about 4 hours each to get here, and that is not a problem. We'll be doing that same drive back right now, but trust me, we will heartily do this continuously until Southern Cameroon is free. The only thing we can do is sing the refrain of the anthem. Ambazonia,
Land of freedom, we shall live in plenty, meeting our needs. And your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God be the watchman of this nation. Ambazonia, land of freedom,
you shall
live in plenty, meeting our needs. And your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God be the watchman of this nation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, people of Ambazonia.